Okay, so this is a video of how to measure your paper for your watercolor technique practice. I have for you your long side and your short side measurements to make our boxes that are 2.5 by 3.5 inches. So on the short side of our paper, we're going to measure and mark at 3.5 and 7 inches. So I'm going to line up my ruler with the short side of my paper and put a mark at 3.5 inches here, and then 7.5 inches here. And I'm going to move my ruler probably like halfway down my page and do the same thing so I can do my connect the dots, 3.5 and 7. And then I'm going to use my ruler to connect the dots so my line is straight. And then line up my ruler and finish my line down to the bottom of my page. And then do the same thing over here. So connect my dots so my line is straight. And then finish it to the bottom of my page. Okay, so those are my short side measurements. Now my long side measurements are 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10, and 12.5. So I'm going to keep that right there because I know I'm going to forget them. So, lining up my ruler at the top of my paper, my first measurement was 2.5, and then 5, 7.5, 10, and my ruler is not long enough to do 12.5, so I'm going to move over and put 0 at my 10 mark, and then do 2.5 more inches. Okay, and then just like the other video or the other measurements, we're going to do a second set. We can do it all the way at the bottom of our paper this time because our ruler is long enough. And I'm going to measure at 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10. Move my ruler, line it up with 0 at 10, and then do another 2.5. Okay, and this time, again, I'm going to connect my dots, so I'm going to line up my 2.5 and my 2.5. Draw my line straight down. Line up my 2.5 and my 2.5. Or I guess that would be 5 and 5. And then for this last one, I'm only going to draw my line from this line here backwards. A little treat and a trick for you, for those of you who are watching this video, because our watercolor practice is going to look like this. We're going to have small boxes and then 2 big boxes. If you already drew your line through here, just erase it through those 2 boxes. Okay, so that's how you do the measurements for your watercolor technique practice. Next, you're going to go through and number them and add the watercolor technique labels to them.